Welcome to the Grant Writing Simplified podcast. This is the place to learn how to make a big impact in your community through grant writing and nonprofit consulting. The world needs you to step forward as a grant writer and use your skills to lead with confidence. I'm Teresa Huff, former special ed teacher turned grant writer and nonprofit strategist. In my 20 years of freelancing, I've helped nonprofits triple their funding and exponentially increase their reach. Now I'm stepping up to mentor freelancers and nonprofit leaders like you who are ready to take your skills to the next level. It's time to get intentional about your vision so you can create lasting change in your community. Learn the skills and strategies you need to become the grant writer the world needs. Let's do this. Hey friends, welcome back. This is day 2 in our Grant Writer Fast Focus Power Series. We're doing this series this week, 4 days in a row, to help you develop the confidence and the clarity you need to start your grant writing career. I wanted to do this for you to help you really get clear and to realize that, oh wait, maybe I do have some skills already that I could use. So I really want to help you get there and figure out how to get past that hurdle in your mind so that you can take what you already have and use that to gain momentum and leverage that to grow your grant writing career. You can download the workbook for this series at teresahuff.com/fastfocus. I'll link to that in the show notes. And that's a PDF. It's fillable, so you could do it on your computer or you can just print it out. But I encourage you to really sit down with that each day and give yourself time to think through the questions. The homework is really short and simple, but it's powerful if you will stop and without distractions, just really think it through each day, go deep, and allow yourself to really brainstorm and get creative with some of the ideas as you work through the answers. So today, in part 2 of this series, the title is, Who Am I to Be a Grant Writer? Maybe it's something that's always kind of drawn you in. It always sounded interesting to you. I know that's how I was at first. It sounded really cool, and the idea really resonated with me as something that would fit my skill set, and I was very interested in, and I could really be a part of helping nonprofits become better and build their programs. But I had no idea how to get started, especially back then because Google wasn't even a thing yet. So I also had that hurdle. But now you kind of have the opposite where Google gives you so many answers you don't even know how to sort it out of which end is up. So that's what we're going to help you work through this week. A lot of new grant writers are paralyzed by the question, where do I even start? And they have this imposter syndrome, even though maybe they have some great experience and they're really passionate about their nonprofit work. I've even talked to some college students who are writing or journalism majors, and they're really drawn to these compelling causes. And some of the people I talk to have even written grants before, but they still don't think they have what it takes, and they're just not sure of themselves. They're thinking, who would want to work with me? And should I just work for free to get some experience? And what do I have to offer a nonprofit? Friends, we need to get past that. You know there are so many good causes out there and you really want to help. You know you have what it takes deep down inside if you could just figure out how to start. I want to challenge you to shift your mindset around this. You probably already have a lot of valuable skills that can really help your community right now. You have some God-given abilities that make you very unique, and you need to show up with those. But until you realize that and get out of your own way, you won't be able to use them effectively. And I'm speaking to myself just as much as you here because I've had to do this a lot and really work through that. So let's work on changing that together because the world needs you out there making a difference. So like we talked about yesterday, instead of doubting yourself and saying, do I even have what it takes? We're going to shift our mindset and say, okay, if I do have what it takes, then where do I need to start and what's next? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to start with what you know. And then from there, you find the shortest distance from point A to point B. So that doesn't mean overnight you're going to be this brilliant grant writing consultant. That doesn't mean you're going to go out and find a big client and start with a huge government grant tomorrow. That's not what I'm talking about. Figure out what you're good at right now Figure out where you can start helping nonprofits that you are capable and competent of doing, and start there and stretch yourself a little bit. Challenge yourself, take on some things that are maybe outside your comfort zone or just at the edge of it, but not so far that you're setting yourself up for failure. I recently had a strategy call with Jackie, and you'll meet her in a future podcast. She has such great potential. The world of grant writing specifically was new to her. However, she has a ton of experience with research and writing reports, and she's even worked with several nonprofits over the years on some pretty big projects. She's done things like organizing big fundraising events, managing volunteers, and building fundraising relationships. Those are some pretty specific and marketable skills right there. And in addition, get this, it's a cool twist. She used to train as an Olympic-level athlete. How awesome is that? So in addition to all that experience and training, she's been studying and reading about grants and learning. She's been networking with other grant writers, and she was even working with a nonprofit to submit a grant and build their grant readiness. Jackie's been doing everything right, yet she still wasn't sure how to start. So in talking with her, she has all this professional writing experience, leadership skills, super disciplined athletic training, and she's volunteered with nonprofits so she understands how they operate. But she still didn't see how she could become a grant writer. And this is the kind of thing I see so much, but do you hear how capable she already is? So when we talked it through, we talked about how she could take what she knows, what she's already good at, and use her disciplined training processes from her days in Olympic training. I mean, hello, the systems and discipline and the focus that takes, that's exactly what you need for grant writing. And that really makes her stand out. It makes her memorable when she's talking to a prospective client. So I helped her formulate those things in a way that really leverages her skills. And now she feels really confident in what she has to offer. She understands how she could approach people and talk with prospective clients and feel good about marketing herself in a way that's not pushy or feels fake because she's trying to be something she's not. We don't want that at all. She was worried that she would need to run ads, which didn't feel good to her. So we talked about some other ways that she can have conversations within her network and reach out to those people that she already has relationships with. We put together some clear action steps based on her background and her connections and her personality. So now she knows how to stand out, even though she's kind of new to grant writing. She can keep learning and building those skills, but she has a plan that she feels good about, and she can deliver that with confidence while she's developing her grant writing skills at the same time. And my friend, listen to me. I tell you that because you can do this too. This is exactly what we're doing in the Fast Track to Grant Writer. We're talking about the big grant writing skills, absolutely. I teach you some pro strategies that helped me win several $1 million in grants. But we also look at your skills. I do not want you leaving the program thinking, now what? Where do I even start? People have actually told me that about books they've read or courses they've taken on grant writing. They say, okay, I've read these books, but I still don't know where to start. That is the biggest thing I want to help you with, is figure out a very specific action plan so that you know where to start. A lot of programs teach you how to write a grant, and a lot of other programs tell you how to set up a business. But then that's where people are getting stuck, because most programs don't teach you how to write the grant and set up your grant writing career for success. So that's how it's different when we work together. And that's exactly what we work through in the Fast Track to Grant Writer. My student Lisa said, I really appreciate the ways you're showing us that we can help nonprofits. There are so many nuggets we can incorporate into consulting that I hadn't previously considered. And so she was feeling the same way of there were so many things she's good at that she had no idea that would apply to nonprofits. And I bet you're the same way. So if you're struggling with the question of who am I to be a grant writer, instead ask yourself, who am I not to be a grant writer? Why shouldn't I give it a chance and try it? Todd Henry has a podcast called The Accidental Creative. And on one of his episodes, he said, the key is to push forward, not allow yourself to get stuck, so that your body of work reflects your best attributes, not your biggest fears. I'm going to read that one more time. The key is to push forward and not allow yourself to get stuck, so your body of work reflects your best attributes, not your biggest fears. My friend, I want you to move forward in this because these nonprofits need you now more than ever. We're coming out of this pandemic. Everyone is trying to figure out what to do next. How can we raise funds? How can we grow our programs? How can we generate enough money to serve this growing need? And they need you out there doing this. Remember, each day I give you an assignment. This is short, but I want you to think and go deep on this. And this one is really important because the next 2 days are also going to build on this one. Here it is. I want you to think back through your background and make a list of all the skills and experiences that would make you a good grant writer. Now listen, don't edit yourself and don't limit this to the actual paid jobs you've had. Think much broader than that and take some time to really dig deep. Okay, that's your homework for today. Now, tomorrow we're going to talk about why we're here in the first place and the practical steps that you need to map out your plan to becoming a grant writer. You can download the worksheet for this power series at teresahuff.com/fastfocus. And if you're ready to sign up for the Fast Track to Grant Writer and you want to make a bigger impact fast, then go to teresahuff.com/VIP or message me with questions on LinkedIn or on my website contact form. If you know someone who could benefit from this episode and from these trainings, would you please share it with a friend and just let them know, hey, I think this would help you. Help spread the word so that we can get more people out there serving nonprofits and serving our communities. All right, my friend, come back for part 3 tomorrow. I'll talk to you soon.